Question 765 is asking us to solve some radicals, so let's just go in order. So for question A, we have the cube root of negative 1,000. So that means that something times something times something equals negative 1,000. So we could logic these out. If we want to multiply three numbers and get positive 1,000, we would realize that 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. So in this case, x has to be negative 10 because negative 10 times negative 10 is 100, and then negative 10 times 100 is negative 1,000. So that's pretty straightforward. For question B, we want to know the cube root of 1/8. So again, what times itself 3 times equals 1/8. So, I mean, quickly we can realize that 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4 times 1/2 again is 1/8. So, therefore, the answer is 1/2. For C, we want the cube root of negative 125. That's the same thing as problem A. So, it's what times itself 3 times equals negative 125. If we forget the negative 125 and we ask what times itself 3 times is 125, we would realize it's 5. 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 again is 125. So in this case, x would have to be negative 5. So the answer to that would be negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25 times negative 5 again is negative 125. And for D, we now want the fourth root, so this is what multiplied times itself 4 times, okay? And when you're guessing and checking for these, don't start with big numbers, right? So try 2, try 3, right? So if I try 2, I get 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, that doesn't work. So if I try 3, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81, so we quickly realize that it is 3. The biggest problem with these types of questions is in A and in C, people jump to the conclusion that the negative sign under the radical means there's no real number solution. But that is only true if you have an even, if you're looking for an even root. For odd roots, you can end up with a negative number that does satisfy the situation.